In today's video, I'm chatting with one of my students, Hayden Hessler. When Hayden first joined my mentorship, he was working long hours on a construction site, trying to figure out options trading from scratch. Fast forward 13 months, now he's a full-time trader. He made $11,000 on one swing trade over his 21st birthday. And more than the money, he built a skill that gave him freedom. So without further ado, let's get into our conversation. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm glad to talk to you today and just reflect on your entire journey through the mentorship program.
Absolutely. Yeah, me too. Been waiting for this.
Me too, me too. You've come a long way under my guidance, and I'm really, really, really proud of you.
Thank you. That means a lot.
I still remember our very first Zoom back in July 2024, and you were telling me that you're hustling on your construction site from 8 to 5 and that you were just starting looking into trading. Now, fast forward, it's been 13 months, and here you are. Last week in one swing trade, you made 11K, and like 2 months ago, there was a day when you made over like 5K just in one day. And you told me you're about to pay off your car and planning to move. So I'm genuinely proud of you.
Thank you. It's honestly, I feel like my mom has always spoken about, like, oh, I wish I had imposter syndrome, but I realized today, like, I have full on imposter syndrome. Like, I still feel like the kid I did like a year ago, like, oh, I can get 10 times harder, I could do so much more. But whenever you stop and turn around and look at how far you've come, then it's like, wow. I remember there was a day where I, envisioned like, oh, I could imagine like a $1,000 day, and then to think, like I don't know, anybody comparing like, well, you've already made a $1,000 day. It's like I can't even correct them on the number that it is now.
Yeah, exactly. How much were you making per day in your construction job working 8 to 5?
Maybe like $130 a day, like $600 for the paycheck after taxes.
Wow. So that just shows how life-changing trading really is because
Absolutely, yeah. It took a while for me to get my parents to understand it, but once they finally did, then they're like, "Yeah, can you teach me?"
wow, that is so awesome. So, in today's call, I just want to walk through your entire journey, where you started inside my mentorship program, even some of the bumps that you faced along the road, the breakthroughs you had, and overall to where you are right now, how you started trading and thinking differently that led you to build the confidence to decide to go full time.
Absolutely. So I'd say starting out, I really didn't know the difference between a stock and an option. I remember the exact place that I was at on whichever job site that I was on and whichever lunch break it was that I was watching the video with the difference on it. And I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. So there's a difference between them. I thought it was something similar, but I remember, yeah, just, I mean, at least a half hour to an hour every single day. I just rigorously watched the videos, really implemented myself into the learning. I felt like whenever I was in seventh grade, I learned how to, or like I was like a speed cuber, they call it, just like Rubik's cubes. And like I would go to like competitions. It felt really silly at the time. But looking back is just my ability to recognize patterns and just kind of like, I don't know, flow with them and just, I don't know, I guess utilize them to the highest efficiency that I can. And once I realized that, like, oh, well, I mean, like these little candlesticks, they're just like algorithms and, like a speed cubing. So I figured, well, if I was really good at that, then I can get really, really good at this. And I mean, it's pretty much just a story. And there's definitely been a lot of times along the way that I quit. I mean, maybe like three or four even. I mean, just like even recently, like you think like, man, like would it just be easier to stick to construct? Nah, and then before you finish the thought, you're just like, no, 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 no. I'd lose like $10,000 for 2 weeks in a row before I do that again. Like I'd really have to be living out of my car. But I mean, even then, like I'd make it if I was living in the car. Like I know that I'd get an apartment eventually with the trading, but I mean, this is something that I've been dreaming of ever since I literally left high school. I mean, I remember thinking I just didn't want to work a job and I just did construction because it was super low commitment and I didn't have to go to college or anything. And looking at other people who did go to college, I mean, I fully support that. Usually it gives them the time away from home to learn and look into skills and whatnot. But I feel like with construction, it gave me the time, the patience that I needed, and it also let me go through the dark times. I feel like if I had never learned that work ethic, if I had never, did those terrible cold days. I mean, there was like 2 winters straight that I just worked outside. I don't know why that boss really liked working outside in the winter, but that's just that's all I can think about now whenever I imagine myself sitting even in like the AC when, during summers, or, I can choose when to go outside during winters if I'm not in Florida or something like that. And even just the idea of being on vacation, I mean, like it sounds silly, but like that swing trade was over a vacation for my 21st. So, I mean, I kind of felt on top of the world right then. And I was like, I can buy myself, like some birthday gifts and whatnot. I can do this, that, and the other thing. But yeah, just kind of giving you the opportunity to do it wherever in the world. And I honestly remember hearing the idea like a year ago, just like, I don't know, like the idea of a beach with a laptop on it, just symbolizing, like you can take your work wherever. And I couldn't fathom that. I couldn't understand it.
Meanwhile, 1 year later, from literally not even knowing the difference between an option and a stock, 1 year later, you're on your 21st birthday vacation and you made $11,000.
Exactly. I mean, it sounds so surreal whenever I think about it and whenever I just like write these words down on paper.
Yeah, I'm so proud of you. You've really come a long way. I remember when you were making the decision to join the mentorship, we actually ended up taking two Zoom calls because you were unsure about choosing OTA because you're actually looking at another opportunity. So I wanted to ask
Hmm.
you, why did you choose OTA versus the other opportunity you were looking into?
I feel like everything about the process, just like, especially after learning about the Manifest Profitability book and learning like to listen to the rumble of the morning stars and all that, just listening to your soul, I feel like that really connected with me at that point in my life because I remember the exact night that I had reached out to you. And it was literally just because you were pretty on one of your Instagram stories. And I was like, oh, I want this to be my mentor. And then, yeah, like I think I scheduled like one other meeting or something like that. But that was just because I was so tired of being directionless. And the first call, the person actually didn't pick up, which I felt like that was just another way the universe works. And then after our Zoom call, initially, I was very excited about it, but I felt like there was so much anxiety to come with it. And I was super thankful that you didn't even just like salesman me into the position, but you made me believe in the product, and I I felt very confident that you could give me the product that I was looking for. And even if I didn't know where to start, I felt like, I mean, this is a great place. I just felt right with it. Everything made sense. Just the way you explained, risk to reward ratios. And even if I had no idea about it, it could have sounded Greek to me, but something in me just kind of told me like, well, this could work. I feel like this is going to be different. This is going to be like not like drop shipping, not like, I don't know, any affiliate marketing or anything like that you see people, online gurun about. But I feel like the more I looked into this, the more I realized that like this is a structured system. And I mean, a lot of people that lose and quit within the first 2 or 3 months, they'll be like, oh yeah, it's gambling. You can't tell which way the chart's going to move based off of a couple lines. But whenever you do it, you realize like, yeah, you can. It sounds surreal. It sounds like magic. And that's why nobody gives it a try. That's why nobody really does it. But I felt like once I remembered I had to be delusional in myself, then that was just kind of the pulling trigger moment. And I felt like I don't know, there wasn't very many other, or there really isn't any other candidates that I would have went with. I mean, even if I were to learn trading through somebody else, I don't think that they could have, given me this kind of attention and details and just, I feel like care. I feel like a lot of them are just kind of course pushers.
I appreciate that because that is something that I would say I'm more different about because I'm the opposite of a course pusher. I really put a lot of care into my students.
Absolutely, yeah. I really appreciate that. I mean, I had even looked into like TJR's course or whatever, but it was like, you mean to tell me I'm giving you 3 months of my time for $7,000, and this is going to be in a classroom with like a bunch of other people, not really one-on-one. I mean, it's just like, I don't know, a whole lot of different things about it. And once I like did the math in my head, I was just like, that is multiple millions of dollars a year. They're not doing that trading, But I feel like, I mean, the barrier to entry, I mean, of course, like you couldn't just, I don't know, pay somebody $10,000 for it, even though it is $1 million skill. But yeah, the barrier to entry just it requires so much time, so much patience, so much care, and the right guidance, the right mentorship. I definitely feel is a very strong piece of the puzzle. I've seen so many of your students; they'd be trading for 2 years and then join the program, and 3 months later, bada bing, bada boom, they know the sauce. But I feel like I have been seeing so many things online, just like, oh, everybody wants to make 10K days, but not go through this for like 5 years. And they're just like smashing PCs and whatnot. And I think like 5 years, I was like, you guys don't know to marry.
It's actually mind-boggling how much money you can make with trading.
Absolutely. I mean, like even right now, like I feel like I have this little rule of like wait 2 days before reacting, and 2 days sounds like a long time. I don't know. After 2 days, like it'll take 2 days to fully sink in. Like, oh my God, that was $11,000. Like I can get upset about a $5,000 loss on a whole month, but like that could be made back in a trade. What, like I can't even get upset about money anymore. It's just like I have the skill, and as long as I have time, and I'm quitting my job, and I can only get better from here. So honestly, I just want to spend like a full 40-hour week just back testing as if it was a full-time job. Spend another 40-hour week just going over every last detail of the course. It just, I don't know, maybe spend another 2 weeks, just like rigorously perfecting my day trading skill because I've done a lot of swing trading just with the job and everything. And I probably could have done a little bit more with day trading, but I feel like the movements would have just been a little bit, I don't know, I couldn't really have my mind in two places at once with work and trading. So I found a really sweet spot with swing trading, and I'm so excited to get into day trading. I'm so inspired by the way that you take like 3 to 6 trades a day, and you can lose two of them, but like usually end of the day, like either break even or profitable. And I'm like, I couldn't even be like envious about it. It's just, it's inspiring. I mean, like it's all green for the month. Like it's all green. It's literally just the system.
It's crazy too because a couple years ago, I wasn't as confident, even though I was full time with trading, but I would only take like one trade a day. And I was like really hesitant to take more trades. But what I've been working on over the past 2 years is taking more trades. Once I spot the opportunity, why not enter? And you're mentioning there was only one day in 2025 where I took 6 trades, but I
Oh
did.
yeah, I saw that one by chance.
I took 6 trades that day, and that was one of my biggest days in the whole month. And the thing is, every single trade looked exactly the same. It was the same entry, the same exit. It's just that I was able to spot the opportunity over multiple stocks.
I wish I could preach it to everybody, but I don't know. So like, there's been a lot of friends that came to me and asked, just like, oh, can you teach me? And I don't even want to cherry pick, but like, I don't know. I guess it goes into some imposter syndrome, just like, am I good enough to teach this person? But then again, I also think like, does this person got what it takes? Just like, I don't want to spend my time teaching you if you're just gonna quit. Just like, I don't know if you could lose a $2,000 day like that and just continue. Can you do it for
Yeah.
free? Can you do it losing money? Can you do it for 6 months losing money?
Okay, so what would you say it takes to become a successful trader? Because there's some students who've been in the program the same amount of time as you, and they're just like struggling moving forward.
I think a big thing that helped me is the Manifest Profitability book. That was such a major help for just $25 compared to the initial investment of the membership. I feel like it's a necessity. If not, it should just be provided. I mean, yeah, there's that extra step of, like wanting to perfect yourself, but I feel like that small bit of information, if people really sit with it, and even the first couple of chapters, it's really just like turning a channel in your brain. Like nothing has to change like reality wise. You just kind of got to wake up and say like, well, I make banger trades and I don't lose money and I'm just that, just like, I don't know. It's easy for me. If you just say it's easy for me and really just kind of imagine it. And I hear a lot of people talk about like manifesting and, like resonating frequencies with, just like their surroundings and whatnot. And like, it sounds crazy, but it works. I feel like if more people were to believe in themselves, and I feel like it takes such a specific combination of words for you to fully understand it, which is why I feel like the Manifest Profitability book does it very, very well, because if you don't get it the first chapter, you'll probably get it the third, second, fourth, whatever. But I feel like a lot of it for me was just mentality. I mean, I was doing the same thing I was then as I am now, and I just lost a lot more back then, I feel like. And then I messaged that Karen Escatel and I was just like, what do you do? Because you're in the group and you're doing good. What do you do? And she's like, I don't know. I just do what Damaris does. I was like, would you look at that? Just like, maybe I should do that. And then, I don't know. It's just like such simple little things like that. Just it's just the game of inches. I mean, you'd move 1 inch to the left and finally you understand everything whenever you could have just been that inch to the right for 3 months. I mean, I've been there as well.
I understand. Okay, interesting. What is it like being a beginner going through the course?
In the beginning, it was very overwhelming because it was almost just like I was being handed a bunch of little puzzle pieces, and I was like, okay, I mean, I could see the puzzle piece, I got it, but what am I making? It's just like I didn't even really understand what it was. There's no like picture that shows you just like this is options trading, or like this is like what this is or that is. It's all just information, and you just have to learn all of it to put it together. And I feel like maybe the beginning of the course, it might be best to focus on swing trading because of a lot of people's situation and maybe not having as much time. Also, just understanding the grand scale of it, just I guess like the full picture, the big picture of what it is, just like you open your laptop, you look at these specific, stocks or whatever, you make this little plan, lines go from here to here and you make money. It sounds, a little bit difficult, but I remember there was a lot of videos whenever I would get into it, and there's a lot of ones that very thoroughly helped me, but I feel like there was a lot of, say, like the Sunday courses or something like that would be like an hour and a half long, and that would just be a little bit overwhelming for me. So I would just kind of have to like divert back to like my notebook, or just kind of like go over the first couple of chapters of the program or something like that. I feel like with consistency, I started to understand it more and more each day. I don't know. I guess I just had like this burning desire to learn it in the beginning, even if I had no idea what it was. But I don't know. I don't even think it was more anxiety inducing or anything like that than it is now. I mean, I feel like it was more enjoyable being a beginner because I wasn't even losing money at that point. I was just watching the videos. So then I started actually doing it, and through, trial and error, it all works out. You'll find your way eventually. I mean, some people, it's a lot quicker for some people than others. I feel like I learned it so quickly because I'm incredible at pattern recognition. Just don't compare yourself to anybody. just give yourself a lot of grace and then some more, and just keep showing up. I think I've heard keep showing up the most, and maybe from you or just other people, but that was what meant the most for me, just because there were so many points where I was so overwhelmed and I didn't even know what to do, and I didn't know what more I could learn and what more I could practice, or how to practice more, how to learn more, or anything like that. And I guess I just got overwhelmed. But as long as you just keep showing up and just clear the mind and just do the same thing day in and day out.
You were overwhelmed. What part was overwhelming? Like the amount of information that I gave you?
I think, yeah, the amount of information feels like a lot because you don't know how much you're going to have to learn at first. And I guess just like piece by piece, chapter by chapter, you get to understand more and more. But also, everybody learns a little differently. Some people learn just through books, some people learn through visualization, some people are more hands on. And I think that understanding the way that you learn can help you a lot in that. But I feel like as long as all the information was there, and maybe it felt like a library of information at some point or sometimes, but there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I want to set aside a whole week just to go through everything because I feel like, I don't know, it's like watching a show the second time. You'll just understand everything so much more, pick up on things you didn't get the first time.
The
Yeah.
thing is, too, you joined this mentorship program 14 months ago and you still have course to go through.
I know, yeah. I mean, okay, I didn't like give up at one point, but I do think like around like Thanksgiving or like Christmas time, I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a little break from the videos because like I've been just going ham for the past 6 months, just like watching as much as I can, and I've been overwhelmed. And then I just kind of maybe like quit for a little bit there, and then I never really picked back up on it. But it's all just a matter of working it into your schedule or routine. And I mean, there's definitely been points where I'm just like, oh, I feel like an idiot. I don't know anything. I've just been lucky up until now, and then I go back and watch the videos.
So basically, you were a complete beginner coming into my program. It's a library of information, but it is organized in categories. You don't
Absolutely.
even have to watch the whole thing and you can become a full-time trader.
Exactly.
Okay, that's what I like to hear. Sounds good. Now, I also wanted to ask you about how you felt supported during the mentorship time. So that was like the first 4 months. How did you like the 24/7 chat, personalized loom breakdowns, and the group calls, the pre-market plans and breakdowns? Did that help you?
Absolutely. I loved your attention to details and the way you go out of your way to help and, message everybody back super quick with replies and everything like that. I felt like I almost didn't put enough effort into the first 4 months because I was pretty much just spending the whole time watching videos. And I feel like, I mean, as crazy as it sounds, like right now would be like the time that I feel like I would start, just like learning day trading or something like that. Like I'm pretty much starting over. I have to learn like an entire new system. And I feel like back then I also didn't know how much I could reach out. I kind of forgot that it was a mentorship and I could text you like every day. So I don't know, I'd wait just way too long to ask questions and whatnot. And not that I didn't apply myself as much, but I just didn't know, I guess, the boundaries of how far I could push my attention.
Yeah. Actually, I wanted to t show you this because you mentioned that, which is my student Lewis. He joined my
Hmm.
mentorship program last year as well. And he also kind of did the same thing when he first joined, where he didn't really reach out to me that much. So you'll see, like, this is all of our recent conversations, but I'm going to show you when he first joined. Let's see, it was more up here. Then it was like, yeah, we've had a lot of conversations. From
Oh
August,
yeah.
September, October, he didn't
Oh
even.
my gosh. You guys were strangers.
Yeah, so during those first 4 months, August to November, we really didn't chat that much. But then he just kept trading, kept trading. Maybe we had little conversations here and there, but he actually decided to restart the mentorship with me in April because he was actively trading. And then what we started in April is actually daily mentorship since he's actually daily trading now. So sending me his pre-market plan in the morning, I send him my feedback in the morning. Then he sends me his journal after he takes the trade, and then I send him the journal review after that. And we've just been going back and forth in like basically a daily or every couple days feedback loop like that.
Yeah,
And
that's wonderful.
now, yeah, he was unprofitable though when after the first time of the mentorship. So when we restarted, now it's been like 4 months, and I think he's been 6 or 7 weeks green straight.
Oh yeah.
You joined
It's
the
honestly
mentorship program when you were 19 years old.
I know, that's crazy. I
Yeah.
almost wanted to like be able to quit the job and turn profitable before I turned 21, but then I remembered like, oh, I mean, Pop Smoke was 21 whenever, or I think he was 20 whenever he passed. And I mean, that guy looked like a full grown man and he was acting like one as well with his music and whatever. But I always just like kind of aspired to, be successful before 21. And then I was like, oh, well, missed it by a week, but that's all right.
I think when we had our chat, I was using this story of Dylan to convince you to join my mentorship program. And Dylan also joined my mentorship when he was 19 and he went full time when he's 21. And guess what? He's still full time.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I remember even thinking, just like, there's no way there's that much money in this. Just like, if I visualize how much money is in the world and visualize it by country and yada, yada, yada. But then I really did realize that it's just like a fraction. I mean, like, even if you make $100,000 in a day and I make $100,000 in a day, like, we're still just a fraction of one of the industries that are, competing in this field.
It's a constant flow of money in the stock market.
Exactly. And every year, like, billions get added. Billion, like hundreds of billions, just they get like pulled out of thin air.
And even there was a couple times in the past few months where there was days where trillions were wiped out of the market. Guess what? We can make profit on that too.
Exactly. It's all just a value assessment. Like trillions didn't disappear, they were never there.
I know, it's insane. So, outside the charts, how has trading reshaped your life? I've talked to a lot of my students and they've told me that it's just completely changed their life.
I feel like I've seen a lot of videos where people would say just like it's not about making money. It's like trading is so much more than just making money. And I remember kind of asking God to help me understand that. And anymore I do because it's you got to take care of your physical health, your mental health, you got to be disciplined. It's the act of being disciplined all day, every day to be able to renew these, I don't know, ideas and to refine them and refine skills and just to make yourself better every single day. I mean, even down to I want to eat better so that I can be more mentally clear, so that I could trade better, or I want to be sober. I want to, just like be more mentally clear. I want to stop doing X, Y, and Z. I want to go to bed earlier. I want to, I want to study more. Just like things like that I feel like make it full circle to just creating you into the person that you want to be. Because once you realize that this path is there, say you can make $100,000 in a day, then I feel like you'd have to be insane not to. I mean, everybody wakes up, they go to work, they end up hating it because it's work, but it's all for the dollar, the all holy dollar. I mean, it's just like it's sickening at a point, Like I don't know. I feel like it's changed my mind, my body, and I don't know, I feel like my spirituality even as well. I feel like I've gotten a lot closer with just the alternative space. I mean, as some may call it, or just like the idea that there is more out there. It sounds so silly that this comes from just looking at charts, but I feel like it really just brings out the best in people. I mean, if you want to become the best version of yourself, this is definitely a way to do that.
Wow. So you would say the options trading accelerator is not just a course to teach you options. It's literally a whole life transformation system.
Absolutely. And I didn't even think I mean, back then I didn't know what I was getting into, but I was kind of thankful because I didn't think I was ready for it. I didn't think that I could become this person, but anybody can do this. I mean, if I could, then like, shoot. I mean, I feel like I've always been the person that in high school kids in my grade, like if they were, I don't know, like an athlete or a jock, they would look at me as like a stoner. And then like the druggies would look at me as like a jock. So like I was just in between and I was always just like, oh, just like you don't really fit in, but he's probably not going to be successful. I mean, like his friend group isn't really looking that great. And I mean, like I knew in my heart, like, well, these aren't my people. They don't talk about money like I want to. I mean, even just like business ideas or even just like financial literacy or something like that. And I feel like that kind of played a part into not how my family looked at me, but I've definitely been told by like other relatives, just like, oh, I thought you'd be the problem child for sure. I mean, based off of what I did when I was younger. And I was just like, I'll never be you. It's just like, oh, I'm gonna be the best that I can be every single day, and I don't care if you guys believe me or not.
It's been a long journey, and what else would have helped you get out of construction? Trading is literally such an amazing path. It takes you from stoner jock construction kid to now you're in finance and you're eating healthy.
Exactly.
Oh, it makes such a big difference. If you could time travel, what would you tell July 2024 Hayden?
I feel like I could write a little book for myself at even every 6 months stage of my life, but I feel like, I don't know, he's got it all figured out. I mean, like, I could speed up the process a little bit, tell him to smoke less, but I feel like all in due time, all lessons come as they should. I felt every emotion as I needed to, and if I didn't feel it, then I may have made different decisions later. I don't know. That's a really good question. There's a lot that I would tell him, though.
But no regrets.
Exactly.
I like to hear that. Also, I wanted to ask you some questions about the fact that you're swing trading. Could you tell me a little bit more about how you used my strategy, supply and demand with your swing trades?
Absolutely. I feel like a lot of it is the what would you, indicators and utilizing momentum. I feel like day trading would be so much easier. But swing trading, I mean, I kind of got to rely on not just like luck by any means, but I do got to kind of hope that it's doing the same thing 2 to 3 days out. I mean, that's just what swing trading is. But you definitely utilize the rules that or that you get from the OTA course with, just basic charting and just like the characteristics or candlestick characteristics, or I guess like all the the trio of signals I guess that you get for confirmations before entering in a trade. And if you just zoom out on a bigger timeline, then you could just do the same thing over the course of a week, but you don't have to check it multiple times a day. And I feel like you can do, I don't know, you could fail multiple times with swing trading and then just make it back in one good swing trade. I feel like if you really understand delta, if you really understand like the different variables of contracts and getting the right contract, I mean that's how you get a $10,000 swing trade. I mean, in that day I didn't even anticipate that. I was like, if I could do $4,000, great. And then it went up like 4% overnight, and I was like, would you look at that, we made a lot more than we anticipated. But you just have to have the confidence in it. You have to know that the movement's going to happen. You have to have the confirmations for it, and it's really no different if you're to do it on a 5-minute scale or like a 1 week scale.
Okay.
Takes a lot longer, but
Yeah.
it's just as fun either way.
Good advice. Good advice. Making the decision to go full time is huge. What even made you feel confident enough that you were ready?
Before, maybe like a month or two ago, I've done, I don't know, like a three and a half, $4,000 week. And that for me, I was like, okay, I'll pull out half of it. And then I did it again and again and again. I was just like, well, shoot. I was like, if I did this just one time a month, then that's like my construction paycheck for the month, $2,400. And I thought to myself, just like, why work a job just to work a job? I mean, yeah, I guess I'm providing for society, but if we look at leverage, I mean, just like, yeah, I can get a nail out of a wall with my bare hands, or I could just like use a crowbar. It's just it doesn't change the world if you pull it out with your hands. I mean, just it's the utilization of leverage. There's going to be a lot more people that can be construction workers. I mean, there's very very few people that are delusional in themselves enough to think that I can be rich, I can make my own schedule, I can become the person that I've always dreamed and seen that I could be. It just takes a small select amount of people, and once the person, or I think if somebody realizes that they're in that percentage, then yeah, like there's nothing stops in the way of that.
Okay, good. If
Yeah.
there's someone watching this video and they're on the fence about joining my program, what would you tell them that makes this program different from free YouTube videos or Discord alert groups?
I was told by many friends as well, like you can get this information for free. You don't need to pay for it. But what you get in this course, I feel, is so much more structure, so much more attention, and so much more care. I mean, even down to if you wouldn't even, reach out or communicate with anybody, even just to have these structure of videos based off of categories and put into the format that they are, just the way they are. I feel like that's all the information you need without any of the extra. I mean, I can't imagine how long it would have taken me if I would have just been just randomly searching on YouTube videos. I mean, even to know each category of, I guess, pillars that it takes, between risk management, charting, mindset. I mean, I feel like a lot of people that are trading now, they really don't know about mindset because they didn't have a mentor. I mean, they might be profitable, but it could take somebody 10, I mean, I don't know, 5 or 10 years to get to the same point as it would take somebody for a month. And I feel like to somebody who, I guess, would be in my position a year and a half ago, if you really want something, like if you really just want success, if you just need direction, I feel like this is a great place to start, because other places, or I guess like say drop shipping or affiliate marketing, or like making, I don't know, YouTube, just like faceless videos and things of that nature, all of it is going to be very hard, take a lot of time. But wouldn't you rather just reach out and ask for help and just get the information not handed to you? I mean, just like, yeah, you got to work for it, but it's almost egotistic to think that you could do it on your own. I mean, think of it, if you were to spend $20,000 for one semester of school to get into $80,000 worth of debt to make $80,000, spend $4,000 to make $10,000 in a day. Like, I don't know. I mean, like, they know that they want it. They just need to hear it from others. I mean, even if it's not you, I mean, you're the mentor, which you can explain it flawlessly. But if they need testimonials, I mean, yeah, I feel like it just speaks for themselves. I mean, if they don't see it, they're not looking for it. Essentially,
I
this is
appreciate
tried and true.
I appreciate that, Hayden. I love seeing the progress that you made and how far you've come. You put in a lot of work, you remain disciplined, and now look at you going to the next level. So, like I said, I'm really proud of you, and you are an example of exactly what I want for every trader who joins my program. I appreciate you for joining my program. I appreciate you for putting in all the effort that you did, and look at you now, it paid off.
Thank you so much, Damari. That means so much. I feel like after the past couple weeks, I could really use that. Just even those words.
Yes, I'm proud of you, Hayden.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm proud of you. Thank you for all that you do for everybody. Changing the world, as they say.
I hope Hayden's story reminded you growth isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet mornings with a notebook, watching the same video over and over, doubting yourself, wondering if it'll click, and then one day it does. If you're trying to figure things out alone, just know you don't have to. I work with a small group of students at a time, and if you believe this is your season to go all in with trading, I have a link below in the description to apply for my mentorship. Either way, I hope this video gave you something to believe in again. And if you want to learn how to trade without feeling like you're gambling every time you click buy, check out this video right here.